But none believed in Moses except the offspring of his people, because of the fear of Pharaoh and his chiefs, lest they should persecute them. And verily, Pharaoh was an arrogant tyrant on the earth. He was indeed one of the musrifin, polytheists, sinners, and transgressors, those who give up the truth and follow the evil, and commit all kinds of great sins. And Moses said, O my people, if you have believed in Allah, then put your trust in Him, if you are Muslims. Those who submit to Allah's will, they said, in Allah we put our trust, our Lord, make us not a trial for the folk who are zalimin, polytheists, and wrongdoing. Do not make them overpower us, and save us by your mercy from the disbelieving folk. Almighty Allah decided to put an end to Pharaoh's crimes after he had given him several chances. Allah commanded Moses to depart, and the children of Israel received reluctant permission from the Pharaoh to go out of the city for the feast. They prepared themselves to leave Egypt. This later became known as Exodus. They carried with them their jewels and borrowed a lot of jewels from the Egyptians. The Pharaoh learns of the believers' escape. In the darkness of night, Moses led his people towards the Red Sea, and in the morning they reached the beach. By then Pharaoh was aware of their departure, so he mobilized a huge army to pursue them. The parting of the Red Sea. The impatient children of Israel soon became agitated, and Joshua, Yusha ibn Nun, exclaimed, in front of us in this impassable barrier, the sea, and behind us the enemy. Surely death cannot be avoided. Moses replied that he would wait for further guidance from Allah. These words filled them with some hope, but man is always impatient for results. They were willing to surrender themselves back into slavery. At that moment, Allah revealed to Moses, smite the sea with your staff. Moses did as he was commanded. A fierce wind blew, the sun shone brightly, and in a flash the sea parted, the crests of the waves standing like mountains on each side. Moses led his people across. This miracle proved Moses' oft repeating claim, verily my Lord is with me. As they looked back, they saw Pharaoh and his army approaching, about to take the very path which had been opened for them. In great fear and panic, they pleaded with Moses to ask Allah to close the sea. However, Allah commanded Moses not to smite the sea with his staff. Again, for Allah's decree was already in action. The death of the Pharaoh. Pharaoh and his army had seen the miracle, how the sea had parted, but being the pretender that he was, Pharaoh turned to his men and proclaimed, look, the sea has opened at my command, so that I may follow those rebels and arrest them. They rushed across the parted waters, and when they were midway, Allah commanded the sea to return to its former state. Terror-stricken Pharaoh, realizing his end had come, declared out of fear, I believe that there is no God worthy of worship except Allah, in whom the children of Israel believe, and I am of those who surrender to Him. But Allah did not accept this declaration from the tyrant, and the waters closed over him, drowning him and his entire army. Almighty Allah narrated, and we inspired Moses, saying, "Take away my slaves by night, verily you will be pursued." Then Pharaoh sent callers to all their cities, saying, "Verily these indeed are but a small band, and verily they have done what has enraged us. But we are host all assembled, apply forewarned. So we expelled them from gardens and springs, treasures, and every kind of honorable place. Thus we turned them, Pharaoh's people, out, and we caused the children of Israel to inherit them. So they pursued them at sunrise. And when the two hosts saw each other, the people of Moses said, "We are sure to be overtaken." Moses said, "Nay, verily with me is my Lord. He will guide me." Then we inspired Moses, saying, "Strike the sea with your stick," and it parted, and each separate part of that sea water became like the huge firm mass of a mountain. Then we brought near the others, Pharaoh's party, to that place, and we saved Moses and all those with him. Are not believers yet and we saved Moses and all those with him. Then we drowned the others. Verily, in this is indeed a sign or a proof, yet most of them are not believers. And verily your Lord, he is truly the Almighty, the most merciful. Moses' people escaped, and Pharaoh's death. In another surah, Almighty Allah narrated, "And we took the children of Israel across the sea, and Pharaoh with his host followed them in oppression and enmity, till when drowning overtook him, he said, I believe that La ilaha illa Hawa, none has the right to be worshipped but he. In whom the children of Israel believe, and I am one of the Muslims, those who submit to Allah's will. Now you believe while you refused to believe before, and you were one of the mufsideen, evildoers, corrupts. So this day we shall deliver your dead body out from the sea, that you may be a sign to those who come after you. And verily, many among mankind are heedless, or our ayah proves evidences, verses, lessons, signs, revelations. The curtain fell on Pharaoh's tyranny, and the waves threw his corpse up to the western seashore. The Egyptians saw him and knew that their God, whom they worshipped and obeyed, were mere slaves who could not keep death away from their own necks. The Moses people desire an idol. In spite of Pharaoh's death, he left a bad influence on the souls of the children of Israel. It was